Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, y'all, we are running a little bit late. We had some difficulty. Many people have reached out, and I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your patience as I begin to share this out. We are running slightly behind. It is the holiday weekend. I hope everyone, look, if is ready for the holiday. If you having a cookout and you can really cook, because I'm not. Look, your girl need an invite to the picnic, to the cookout. Now, if you make your potato salad with raisins, I do not want to invite. Mickey, how are you today?
Oh, I can't
Mhm.
complain.
You can't complain.
Just
Good,
trying to
good,
be
good.
alive, to be on the side
That
trying to
part.
be with the living.
Why don't I see this up yet on my end?
I'm over here seeing it as we speak.
Well, it's not up on my end. It's not up on my end yet. So we did have some difficulty. Okay, maybe I had to go back. So it's now showing that we are live. So let me share it out. Okay. So listen, y'all. Mickey quiet over there.
Nah, because I'm over here sharing.
You over there?
Yeah.
He's getting it out. So listen, I hope everybody is prepared. If you are having a barbecue, a cookout, seriously, your girl need an invite. Okay. If you make it, I'm serious, but if your potato salad have raisins in it, I don't want the invite. I don't. I do not. I do not. I have an aunt who at the cookout on a holiday, she always, she has a recipe book and she always tried to do something extra. She put like ground beef in the macaroni and I'm like, well, what is she doing? I'm like, that's not, you had one job. Make the macaroni. Don't and cheese. Don't do it the other way. Look, and if you from the hood, look, if you got the big block of cheese and know somebody who got it, we want that cheese to be one of the cheeses and about three, four other ones. Okay. She put some ground beef. I'm like, that's what's that hamburger helper? That's like hamburger helper. So listen. Oh, so we are going to start out. Today is my son's birthday, and I am wishing my son Ose a very, very happy birthday. Um, he doesn't like, once they get 18, they lose all rights to, me to not put them on social media or to talk about them. They lose they privacy really. And so he was like, Mom, do not put it up there. I'm like, whatever. He is well over 18. He is 28. And I'm looking for a nice young lady for him. So if y'all got some daughters or nieces, he works really hard. He's a nice young man. He gonna be mad if he watching this. Cause some of them girls, whoo, whoo, whoo. Some of them. So I am wishing him a very, very happy birthday. He is my middle child, and he act like the middle child too. The middle child got all that mouth, and you know, he thinks he is my father. What you doing up this late? Where you at? Why you out there in them streets? I'm like, I'm grown. I am good, and I'm good and grown. Good and grown. So wishing him a very happy birthday, as I am a very proud mom, and we are very proud parents of him. Um, he is one of the two or three of my I have three children. I've always said all children are not meant to go to college. He come telling me like it's a revelation last year. He was like, Mom. I'm like, what's up? I'll say. He's like, I never liked school, right? I said, I knew that. Your grades reflected that. That was not a secret. It was not a secret. He could care less. And when he was a little boy, he would look out. He loved machinery and using his hands. And he would look out the window. He liked to see when we were building our house. He loved just to watch, the equipment. And, you know, he was just a child that schooling was not for him, and it's not, for every, people learn differently, people have different things, and I think that we have to understand in our society that we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need carpenters, we need truck drivers, We need people who do cement work or masonry. We need people who have the trades. So everyone, has a place. Even a waiter or waitress. You can't go to a restaurant and expect to be served and waited on if you don't have a waiter or waitress. So we have to have an appreciation that it takes many different jobs made up to for us to have our society work or our conveniences. So to everyone that's out there, Anthony Prevost, No Name, Jeff Johnson, Jade Williams, Justin Ellis, Jessica Stewart, um, Miss Richburg, T from the D, just oil. And by here, look, y'all, Mickey moving quick. Marcus Felder, text messages again when you see food like the happy birthday. Cash Williams. So, Francine Johnson, Melissa Z. Melissa, I had a question for you, and I need to call you too. Um, Jasper, Berg, Carolyn Hendricks, I ain't going. So listen, I appreciate y'all spending y'all time with a salty chef, Darnell Dumas. So listen, is there anybody else that look? If I didn't call your name, charge it to my heart, not to Sheena B, Beverly Barnes. And I do want to say this. I did start going through my friend list. I don't go through those. So if you have sent me a friend request, charge that one to my mind and not to my heart. I did start going through those yesterday. If you don't have no friends on your friend list, I'm not getting ready to be your friend. But I am like a year behind, maybe a year, because my page is public. So my page is public. So therefore, good morning, Mama Quill. Good morning, Yvette Bailey. So I need to actually be sharing this. Someone texted me and said, make sure you share this with them. We are up on the YouTube side, right, Mick? Okay. Okay, I gotta share this out
I don't
too.
know how long we're gonna be on the YouTube, but I mean Facebook, but we yeah.
Why? Because why? Because my openers
Nah, I mean, sometimes they
do
knock us
they?
down off of Facebook, yeah.
Okay, listen. They didn't the last time.
Nah, but they did before. but a lot of people don't be getting the shows on Facebook. I think they be messing with like far as the notifications.
Okay, that look, they can be mad at DNC. Then we just sharing it, ain't we? So listen, I have been pumped up, and I'm gonna hold off on putting it up because I don't necessarily want to get it shut down. Um, my favorite, y'all know, my favorite hype music. I don't know when they did the roll call at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. Y'all know, I loved it when Lil Jon did the turn down for what. That just it was lit. It was lit. And so I don't have that's open to music just to get you excited. But Mickey think we gonna get shut down. So
No, I ain't because of that. I was just talking about they'll pull you off of stuff you might be saying. That's what I was talking about when they go to flagging the page. That's what I was
oh,
talking about. I
saying stuff.
mean, to whoever you be talking about, if it's the mayor, if it's the council people, that's what I'm talking about when they go
Oh well, I'm gonna
flag
talk
stuff.
about them.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean, listen, they did a whole press conference 4 days late, and when was the threat was August the 14th. Now on the city page, y'all, they put October the 14th, but they corrected it yesterday, so they didn't even know when they had the ransomware or the cyber attack. They did a press conference 4 days ago, and so and let's start with that, Mickey, because that is the cyber attack is very serious. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. Y'all. We moving things around. So the cyber attack it is very serious. So we don't still have full use of our laptops. So it's kind of in and out if we can even keep our laptops because they don't know how much how far this has gone. And so when we look at the cyber attack, it happened on August 14th, and today is what the 31st. So we looking what 2 weeks later. So they took what was it over 10 days before we first had a press conference. I mean, you talked about not being informed, and that's something that's important. It shouldn't have taken that long to do a press conference. And the press conference, we found city council, the rest of us, the four that they don't like, found out the same time y'all found out. You know, it was the same time. And so when we talk about threats, which, the issues were you couldn't make payments, you could not, they had problems with the police, um, with the computers in the police cruisers. They had problems with our building and permit department. So people can't get water cut on, water cut off. They can't get homes or properties to be what do you call it? Inspected. So there's a lot of issues. So for them to take almost 2 weeks is something that they shouldn't have done. That is a long time. The county had a cyber attack about two and a half, maybe when John Gleason was here 2 years ago. And I think there's was about a 3 week issue that it took for them, or maybe 3 to 4 weeks before they got everything back up and going. Uh, we should have known at this point the city would have been next and should have did a better job of preparing. McLaren also was having the same issue. And I believe Hurley had it at one point too. So um, we just, like I said, when y'all saw the press conference, we saw it. And that is just, a very unprofessional way of making sure, when we're talking about making sure people are aware of what's going on. I mean, personally, the mayor should have called all the council people. Mayor Neely should have called all the council people. This is the business of the city. He should have called every council person and said, "Hey, we have which one? The cyber one. Okay. Well, we won't worry about it because we'll move it. It didn't show up. Yeah, and so when we talk about keeping our community safe, Mayor Neely should have called every council person and he should have given us an update personally. Look, and they actually sent me an email to say, "Don't use your email." I'm like, who was the genius that did that? I mean, that's don't there's a way of doing some stuff. And unfortunately, sometimes this city does it the wrong way. Um, he should have called to let us know because residents want to know. So the number of calls that have been coming in. One thing I do know, I don't know if I told you, Mickey, because of his level of pettiness, I had a couple people call. And so if they go to City Hall in the mayor's office, they give them my personal cell phone number. Did I tell you that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So yeah. So my cell phone does not ring if your number, my personal doesn't ring if you're not programmed in. So what they have been doing is giving them my personal cell phone, which I don't have a problem with because when I campaign, I put them on pink cards because I want people to be able to call me and to reach me. But my phone does not ring when they call my personal cell phone number. And so I was getting a lot of missed calls in red. And so people started to leave messages. So I would call him back. And so it is I mean, you gotta love his level of pettiness. You just have to. So, whichever way residents can get in contact with me, I am fine with it. My thing is let's get them taken care of because people got they have a lot of questions, that um their emails weren't being responded to. Had a guy who had a car that was towed, and he was trying to figure out how to get the car out of pound. And he was having a difficult time because a lot of the phones do not work in City Hall throughout for the city, all the city lines. And so you will see, I didn't send you the main number for everybody. I thought I sent that to you. And so there is one main number, and they put that up, I believe, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And so this one main number, you can call to this number if you need assistance or you need help. I don't know how it is honestly really work because you got the different departments. Um, you got the different departments. I'm gonna send this to you, Mickey, so we can put this up so that people will have it. If you have, or you are in my, well, people call me in every ward. You can, our city cell phones are on city council, and you can still reach out to your council person, and those numbers are up. Yeah, can you scroll it down? So the yellow part. No, I mean up. I'm sorry, to the top. Oh, that is small. Does it line up? Okay, so no, no, yeah, the yellow. May have to shrink it back down. I, I'll, you may have to shrink it. I thought it was like a paragraph. It's on my phone. It looks like, so. It says at the top. Which, why isn't this larger? With the sometimes some of the stuff. So at the at the top in the little part, which should be a big part, it states, I can't read it that small. The yellow part that they did it like a crawl. Okay, yeah, at the top in the yellow, it says we are working to recover from a cyber attack that began August 14th. Please call our temporary central number at 810-382-6576. We will take a message and you will receive a call back from the appropriate department. Payments can be made by cash or check only at this time. Click to learn more about service impacts. Thank you for your patience. This should have been a big one. I mean, it that just should have been the whole page, um, for me, because this is serious, and it impacts every department. Um, Mayor nearly he missed the mark with this one, because he should have called every one of us. He should have. And this was a time for him. As the mayor, what he should have did is said, you know what? Let me bring council together to show my leadership, because this is a time. He should have said, I need all of council, because this affects all of city, to make sure that good information is getting out. And so, this is what you got with this administration, and it's unfortunate. Um, and it's just really unfortunate. So if you're trying to contact Tonya Burns, y'all know how to get me. So, and if I don't, email may be a little questionable at times. So, anyway, so Mickey, we are going to move on past that. Oh, Sherry Allen says the water payment center is still down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna move past that. So did y'all slip? I'm talking like everybody, like we all in the same room together. Did you see the interview with, whose basement is that? Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. So did y'all see the interview on ABC 12? Now, for the most part, it was good. To the last part, Channel 12 just completely got off track, because the interview in it is, we have talked about the two children, the two Mitchell boys who lost their lives in a fire. And then there was an alleged cover up. And so we know that Chief Barton, Fire Chief Barton, had requested to have, my allergies. He had requested to have the two firefighters, I believe, was to be terminated, and then until, well, first to be removed, to be put off without. Then I think his determination was to fire them, and he was overrode ridden by the mayor, and he stated that the mayor had told him, "I need you to go in here to take the fall, because I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to do this, because I'm in an election." Now, this is, what he's alleging that he said. And so this has been going to court, what, 2 years now? I think 2 years now. And we had a fire hearing, and um, Mr. Former Fire Chief Barton and our HR director both said during that hearing that it was the mayor's decision to keep those two on. It was Mayor Neely's decision. So that's just a quick workup, but let's go to the let's play the video. Now y'all tell me what y'all think at the end, because we're talking about two little boys, and then they look comment at the end. I didn't appreciate that. So let's play the video. Can you scroll down in the what's the names so I can see the comments too while the video's playing? My voice feel like it's
You
dry.
can scroll down there, the comments. But we had the last one that I
Okay,
saw.
okay. Oh, I see a lot of pray for Quincy.
The current mayor can proceed.
That's right. That's the ruling of the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court, which determined Mayor Sheldon Neely doesn't have qualified immunity. This legal action stems from the deaths of 2 young children after a Flint fire. So, Terry, that fire was more than 2 years ago.
Yes, May 2022, and there was a criminal investigation into the action of 2 firefighters that day, and there's been no charging decision. The family of the 2 boys have filed a civil lawsuit, and there is Ray Barton's lawsuit against the city. And tonight, some new details of what may have been going on in the basement of that home on Pulaski Street that appears to involve members of the Flint Fire Department.
This sends a message to every person in government, particularly, but employers in general, that you cannot make your employees lie for you and then fire them when they won't.
Arnold Reed, the attorney for former Flint Fire Chief Ray Barton, claiming victory after the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court ruled Barton's wrongful termination lawsuit against Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely can proceed. Barton, who appeared at the press conference via Zoom, claims Neely fired him in a cover-up because Barton refused to alter a report on the fatal Pulaski House fire in May 2022, where 2 young boys suffered smoke inhalation and later died. Firefighters Daniel Snigaki and Michael Slotek did not find Zaire and Lamar Mitchell in the first search on the 2nd floor of the home, but were later found in a second search. Barton wanted the firefighters terminated.
The mayor insisted that he lie and change the reports because he wanted the support of the fire union.
When I spoke truthfully, I was admonished for it.
Snigaki and Slotek weren't fired, but resigned. Despite Barton's accusations that they committed misconduct in not finding the boys at first, the Bay City Public Safety Department hired Slotek months after the fire, claiming they reviewed the Pulaski reports and they found he did nothing wrong. The boys' family has filed their own civil lawsuit, and there has been a criminal investigation into the firefighters' actions that day. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton says he's still reviewing the matter, saying the criminal and civil cases impact each other. We're trying to be fair to all parties to the litigation. ABC 12 News has also learned through police reports there was dogfighting equipment in the home. Several dogs were inside when the fire broke out, and a report indicates one of the dogs belonged to a member of the Flint Fire Department. Reed had this to say.
There could have been dogfighting in that basement. It could have been dogfighting outside. We don't know. What we have is 2 dead children, 2 firefighters that are responsible for it.
Ray, would you want to comment on that at all?
No, he doesn't.
What? Okay.
Why? Because I told him not to.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So this is the clue for you not to ask.
Flint Acting City Attorney Joseph Cupps released this statement saying in part, the facts will ultimately show that Mayor Neely did not ask Mr. Barton to lie or falsify official reports regarding the conduct of 2 Flint firefighters at a residential fire which tragically took the lives of 2 children. And Mr. Barton was not fired for these reasons. The evidence, rather than Mr. Barton's unsubstantiated allegations, will support the dismissal of the claims asserted against Mayor Neely.
So he shouldn't have tampered in that. Mayor Neely shouldn't have tampered in that. And it was election time. And he probably would have taken a hit, in the numbers with that. But to ask, according to former Fire Chief Ray Barton, you ask him to take responsibility for his actions, for Mayor Neely's actions. Where'd I do that at?
That's rough right there.
Yeah. That to me, I don't usually have a loss of words, but you interfered because one, the fire department did endorse Mayor Neely, the union. And they endorsed, you did that, but at the cost of 2 little boys, they had lost their lives. Crystal Cooper will never be the same with losing her 2 boys.
But shouldn't we also look at the union that was going, because they had to come put pressure on him?
The guy said it. There's an older one. Oh, did that one show up in the what's the name?
I'm looking at
It's
that
in there
too.
too. The union did.
So how
That they
you-
had no confidence. That was not the time. But here's the thing. I think it was Lake Orion. Lake Orion had 2 little boys, I believe, that died in the fire. And the community surrounded and protected that family. It was a completely opposite, bless you, reaction as to former Chief Sue's Flint Mayor. Is it Flint Department terminate? Yeah, I think it's that one. It was completely different. Like Orion supported this family and understood it was a tragedy. What this department did, and what people they blamed the parents for not having smoke detectors. Matter of fact, some of the council members blamed some of the Flint City Council members questioned and blamed the parents for not having working smoke detectors and for not being at home. Just egregious. First of all, one of the boys 12, the dad would run every morning. Look, what happened? He's trying to be healthy. I wish I was disciplined enough to get up to run every morning. I wish I was. So the children were sleeping. The mom had dropped them off over there for the weekend. These little boys were loved. They had me a black father that was active in their lives.
Yeah, but it's just sad that but that black and white issue showed its ugly head in this process.
It absolutely did. When those 2 children, the fire in Lake Orion happened, parents left almost identical. The community surrounded them with love. This one, they did not. And council members even came after the mother and the father. I can't even imagine.
No.
I can't. I can't. And even for, I'm going to say, the firefighters who pulled them out. And, there was a 6-minute difference. They did it all clear. They had cleared it out. And I'm gonna spend the show in detail because the reports are long. And I didn't have time to do it this week. So they did it all cleared. And they were leaving, they waited. They were, I believe, leaving the scene. And then another truck came. Just so happened, former deputy chief, she was let go too. Carrie Edwards was given the chief. She was told by Mayor Neely, either you leave or we're gonna fire you. You can retire or we're going to fire you. So it was her son who works there that found the 2 little boys. And they pulled them out and they died, I'm going to say 9 days, 10 days later in the hospital. I believe they ended up being airlifted too. Smoke inhalation is very serious. And so Chief Barton was not even here in Michigan. I think he was at a funeral in Georgia. And they were trying to say he was here. It was just crazy stuff. So the dog fighting, what in the whatever does that have to do? It has nothing to do with nothing. Stick to the facts that these 2 little boys died. Listen, the dogs survived. So they're trying to say, oh, it was dog fighting.
They needed
the dogs were in a cage in the basement. They survived.
But they needed distraction. That's how
right.
It worked. It was a distraction. They didn't want to say it was 2 white firefighters
that didn't find them.
Didn't do their job.
That said that they went along the walls. Like when you go along the walls, you gonna feel a hole in the wall, which is a doorway. And so in the report, it said, and Chief Barton had said, if they had have did what they said, which is their protocol, their procedure, what they're trained to do, if they had have did it, they would have felt the hole in the wall. Because as soon as you entered that room, they said one of the little boys was there.
Yeah, well, that just shows you they didn't do their job.
Right. But it's in a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
And do we treat the same respect to our neighborhoods as we do white neighborhoods? Is it the same? Is it the same?
But like you just said, you had council people attacking the parents. And them happen to be black ones. You forgot Ladell walked out and said she didn't walk out on that case, but this just to show you that
it came to her vote.
Right.
Jerry Winfrey Carter was chairing that. There were 6 of us there.
Mm-hmm.
And Judy did vote to have the hearing.
Yep.
and there was 5 left. They went to Councilman Mays, and the vote came. They said, Councilman Mays, yes. And they said, Councilwoman Lewis, all you could see was her Reeboks. That chair spun around. She was like, she was gone. She did not vote on it. She said she had to be somewhere right at the vote. You couldn't wait. Literally 1 minute later, it was she got up at her vote, and we've seen the video and this TikToks of it.
Yeah, but
and she's a mom.
But that's what it. See, we're going back to morals.
She would want somebody to be there for if it was someone she knew. How do you get up out the seat? And I'm gonna tell you, I was not comfortable watching Crystal Cooper. So emotional, and knowing she won't, and she won't be whole again. You know that's tough. And as a human being, you get up and walk out.
You know, see, honestly, animals have more compassion for their.
Oh, let them kill a dog. Look, they still talking about dogs, and there was dog fighting. Okay, you don't know what that was there for, so stop that. Channel 12 was dead wrong for that, and we need to be holding our news stations accountable. We need to hold them accountable because that was wrong. And I'm going to send an email and make a call because that pissed me off. This was about a court case that the judge said there is enough evidence, it's moving forward. And this is in district court. He's suing the city for $10 million, which I think that they'll end up. Mayor Neely is costing the city money again, and so is our council because my case goes to the State of Appeals.
Oh, did you see
mine too? Woodson has 2 cases.
You see what happened down? What is it? Grosse Pointe, Detroit, where the people they had to pay the people for throwing them out of council, and they compare 17,000
for 4 people.
But this the thing. The lawyers didn't get, they made the city pay the lawyer fees. Mm-hmm. So them people got to get their $17,910 and walk out with it. Yeah, city is not paying my attorney fees. And my attorney fees are not free, as someone is. They're not free. It's not. It's not free. And I have to go to the Michigan State of Appeals. Yeah. I have to. And it was someone sent that art. They sent that article to you. Got it? Well, I did, but I somehow messed it up. But yeah, I had. They sent it to me too. I emailed my phone. I don't know. I couldn't even. I can't really. I got my functions. I don't know. My phone might be hacked. I'm telling you seriously. We be getting these. My phone might be hacked. We get these emails and they come in, I don't know who the names be, and I'm gonna be honest, they be fake names. And I don't know who the person is. I just think our people here, I think it shows really how missing Flint is, how informed on certain things, because how, you know what I'm saying, we got people, because I don't know if that person here, whoever sending the emails, but firing the ACLU, why wouldn't nobody thinking about that? We should have had them lawyers up here from Fire and ACLU helping us fight against this rogue council. And I agree. So let's count. This one, Ray Barton is suing for $10 million. Right. With this judge saying it's going to go for it, I'm going to predict that they're going to settle. Because they said that Mayor Neely was not, he wasn't given immunity. I think they're going to probably settle for about $3 million. I do. But you know, because we don't take cases, But I think he's going to end up settling for $3 million. And then now, what you think the mama got was finished? So the mama separate one is $50 million. Right. I think they're going to drag that out as long as possible. It's still, with him winning his case, and it's separate. It's a separate. That one is separate because that one is showing criminal facts. I mean, and negligence. I don't know about hers. Because that's, there's no amount of money gonna ever bring her back. No. And it's just not. But I think with Ray Barton's case, they're going to tell him, I think it's going to be settled. I think so. But if you settle, that's admitting that you did wrong. Oh, I
look at it like that, but
because,
they don't.
No, but I'm saying, but that
Right.
opened up so many other things that's
Right.
that like this settling here gonna open up a whole nother slew.
Let's talk about Trevor's case.
Yeah.
So Trevor has the case of the metal detectors, which the metal detectors had to be removed, not once but twice. Mayor Neely kept violating people's rights, saying that, hey, you could walk through the metal, you had to be first down, couldn't have your gun or your, legally carrying, and they actually stopped me, pissed me off. Then the officer went to follow. I told him, I said, look, I have a license to carry. I said, because I had been dropped off that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through the front doors, and that tall guy, Nick, was there. And Nick was ahead of me, and Nick put his little stuff in the little boxes or whatever to the right, and I didn't put mine in there because the metal detectors wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I was behind you when you did.
Because
you got on the phone, so I'm finna call now.
Yeah, and I'm like, these folks. And so I walked through, and he was like, "Well, ma'am, Councilman Burns, you can't." I said, "Yes, I can." I said, They didn't give you a copy of the order stating you had no right to stop people,
right?
That you had no right to go through their items or anything." And he said, "No." I said, "Well, not my problem." I said, "You need to call your boss, which would be Chief Green, or your sergeant." I said, "Because there's an order from the judge that states that you cannot." He said he didn't know about it. I kept walking. I said, "Well, he says, "Well, I'm going to need you to talk to the mayor." He says, "Because the mayor, why is Mayor Neely running the police department?" He is a horrible micromanager.
Definitely.
So I proceeded to the elevator. He says, "I need you to speak to you're gonna have to speak to me." I said, "I'm not gonna speak to anybody. You tell the little guy in that office that I'll be on the 3rd floor for my scheduled meeting that's been scheduled for over a year." I said, "If he needs to talk to me, okay." And so, I mean, he just break the law. He makes it up. He runs Donald Trump. Trump-ish. Trump. And that's what he acts like. Just I'm gonna make up my own law. Let's see if I can find that article with Eastpointe, because Eastpointe did have to I forgot about those articles.
Yeah, they had to pay, and theirs wasn't even how bad it is over here. Remember,
ours is terrible.
Think about how many people who have been throughout. If you go with
Eastpointe, what?
Go ahead.
What was it?
Hold on.
What was the
Was it Eastpointe, Detroit? Was it
Eastpointe,
Michigan?
Was it City Council?
Yep.
Paid.
Yeah, I was just laughing.
And so residents should listen. You can't clap. You can't call. Don't put a tripod. Well, it's a lawsuit for a tripod.
Yeah.
And Woodson was detained with that tripod, arrested.
Yeah.
They kept him for how long?
Yeah. Was it that day, 24 hours? And then I got put out the same meeting for the tripod.
Did you? Oh yeah,
yeah, I did. I got put out. That's what I'm saying. Got put out. You got Kawanda Mack. You got Baby Doll. You done had over maybe 15, 20 people who've been through out of council illegally. And let's don't even get to the lector gate when they can take your time. If you sign in, you signed to weigh your rights to come up there and speak at the lector. So it's a new thing.
I hate the word lectern.
It's lector gate now.
What lector gate?
Yeah, it's lector gate because you found out that wasn't even right.
Okay, I just sent it to you. So, so we got Ray Barton's lawsuit, former fire chief, 10 mil. We got Crystal Cooper's. Her request was 50 mil. We got Trevor's case. I don't know how much that will probably end up being settled because they keep losing in every court. Then you got Arthur Woodson's case, which is the tripod. He was illegally detained for a law that wasn't broken. Then you have my case that they keep putting me out because I said she's not a nice person. I'm sorry, she called me a bitch. What is nice about her? Yeah, and they got mad because I said the city is running like a Kool-Aid stand. Do they realize all the stuff that I got for a lawsuit? I don't even think that they realize it. Yeah, freedom of speech doesn't matter. They're telling residents that now if you sign the paper, that means you are signing away your rights. That's just simply not true. There's no disclaimer. You have the right. It is not, you cannot, Open Meetings Act does not mean you sign away your rights. Port Huron, not Eastpointe. That's just not true. It's not true. They just lie. And then they lie some more. So the city of Eastpointe to pay nearly $72,000 to 4 residents to settle over ex-mayor's actions. And so the city of Eastpointe will pay 4 of its residents nearly $72,000 to settle a federal lawsuit they filed when former mayor Monique Owens suppressed them for criticizing her during council. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna tell you, she was out of control. She was a nut job. Was it Jaquez John who sent me some? She was crazy. And people weren't even like that. Arthur Woodson get ready to get paid. Look, wait a minute. I had not read the article yet because this week has been crazy.
Right. That's what I'm
It's like going back. I feel like I'm writing. We're going back to Stone Age. I'm writing with charcoal and old brown paper bags because, and I watched her. She was crazy. She would shut the people down. She would put them out. Liddell, this is Liddell.
That's what
I had not read it.
That's what I'm saying. If everybody
don't get mad. Listen,
Flint might be giving out there $1 million.
That part.
Just in
listen. Put that article back up. We gonna finish reading that.
You had over 20 people Liddell didn't threw out. Over 20 people.
More than that.
Don't forget
more than that.
Biggs and her daughter.
We can but you got in it.
I'm saying I can count 20 people.
Why is he calling? He know I'm doing my show. Hold on.
I can count.
So this Monique, and there's some TikToks and some YouTubes about her. Crazy.
Gladys was
okay, let's start. Okay, let's make a count. So let's go. And sorry y'all, but we get ready to do a count. We had the lady, Miss Mayfield got thrown out.
Yep, Miss Mayfield.
We got
Kawana Mack.
Okay.
Baby Doll.
Okay.
You didn't have Art throughout.
We had Tracy Frazier. Mercedes has been put out.
Miss Beverly,
Lawana Terry.
Ivy remember she got.
Yep, she got pulled out.
Billy
she went to speak about. No, she wasn't. That one she spoke about when they put the what's the name.
Lottie got put out.
But she got put out when she didn't speak.
Yeah, I'm saying
it wasn't even her.
Yeah, that's when Ivy got put out.
Lottie been put out a couple times.
That's what I'm saying. Lottie
been put out a couple times.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Who else? I mean, we can keep going.
One time.
Winters. Stephanie Rogers got put out.
Miss Claire McClendon got put out.
Everybody that's been in there.
James got put out. Rich got put out.
Rich was put out, and it wouldn't even be Rich.
Yeah. He got put out.
Miss Liz Taylor. Thank you, Mrs. Jarrett.
And I can't talk about the ladies that
Beverly's grandsons got put out. Yep. Wait. Jessica Stewart said Tonya Burns put out. Listen, I'm gonna put down 5 check marks for me getting put out. I was getting put out. Everybody in there.
What about the 2 ladies that was with?
With Gladys.
Remember
one was a daughter. No, it was total of 3. It was total of 3.
There
was 2 women and the daughter. Her knee. Yeah. Look. Look. Jan Marie got put out.
AC ever get put out? No, Papa got put out.
Papa got put out a couple times. You in the blue slacks. You. I was like, the hostility she had.
You ain't lying. Got put out.
I mean, it's everybody.
Really I said, baby, that was really a who's who done been put out.
If you ain't been put out, you ain't been to Flint City Council. Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, you are part of an elite group if you have been put out.
And T from the D ain't lying. They working on our L.
Don Pfeiffer. Don Pfeiffer. He was put out. So, I don't think Jedediah was put out. Was he put out?
Did he get put out?
He did, because he had to come back for the next meeting.
Yeah, he got
and it
put
was
out.
next. Yep. She told him Dr. Bucko did. They was trying to put the babies out before. I mean, we can, and the list can go on.
Yeah, so who didn't been put out?
Yes, Sheena B said yes. Yep, Sheena, he was put out, and he had to come back for the next meeting.
Like a who's
it's
who.
a who's who.
We got over 20 people, might be in 50 people, because there's some people we missing.
Listen, it is. I did a count before, and I think it was over 50, because some people don't come back. Someone said, a Mama Kill said, it's easier to count who has not gotten ejected. That is correct.
Right.
That is correct.
No fact.
They put out more people than Sammy the Bull has murdered.
No, they have. No, but this is what's crazy.
Wait a minute, Jessica.
I forgot
That's
who
true.
got put out for clapping.
Signs. Terrence. Did we? I didn't put Beverly husband on here.
He got put out.
He get put out all the time.
Yeah, he didn't got put out.
So Frankie Omar, Beverly, her daughter, and the husband. That's 5.
5. They just put right there. And don't put in, you go to putting in the other ones.
What, didn't Tia Harris get put out too before? I think she's been put out before. I think Tia has.
They might have got mad off one of her great speeches she put down up there.
Oh, listen, Councilman Mays. He was put out every single meeting. Let's put him down.
It's like so many.
Jerry Winfrey Carter.
Put out.
Wait a minute. This is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep going. And the fact that they keep picking on Ariel, he has a disability. But did Dennis's wife or Don's wife get put out before? Michelle?
Might as well put her on the list, because if they ain't, they gonna put her out.
I think she has. I think she has been put out.
Shit.
Listen,
anybody that said what has been put out, I'll say that much.
Kermit.
Yeah, Kermit. Forgot
Kermit.
Kermit got put out.
You got people who've been put out who just were speaking. I mean, some people have been put out who came there to get help.
Sure have.
Who have come to get help, and they put them out.
Sis Audrey got put out. Forgot that.
Yeah, she got put out too.
She got put out. Shit, who ain't got put out is the question. Anyone who fought for justice down there got put out.
I think John has been put out. John Groff.
Possibly.
He was over at the what's the name?
The Dome.
Mm-hmm. He's been put out. I mean, we can keep going on. Jasmine says
Jasmine was put out. I forgot about Jasmine.
Jasmine been put out maybe Jasmine, I think you got put out twice.
Yeah, they put
Jasmine. Wait.
Then they put her mother out too.
I think they did put her out. Jasmine did. She put it down that day. She was like, I'm not happy.
Then they throw Weaver up out of there too.
I think she got put out too. Oh, I didn't put Billy's name down. I don't know why I didn't. We said it. I mean, we literally, this is sad because she got a warning.
Okay, got you.
But her mom was back there telling people, oh no, you don't want to mess with me. No, that is my daughter. I was like, oh, y'all done got Mrs. Rita Stanley mad.
What people say.
No.
They don't call your mama bear for nothing. You go messing with their cubs.
That part.
Yeah.
So if you have been thrown out, you are a part of an elite group because you fight for justice. Listen, power to the people. Power to the people. Because it is people who have come to get help. It is people by saying, we have to fight for justice. We have to fight for justice. How many warnings? Let's talk about the warnings. The seniors came. They were warning them. Hasselbrink. Now, them Hasselbrink people showed up. Hasselbrink people, and I'm gonna tell you, Leon better be trying to get that contract for $1. $500 is not a deal. Then the mayor and them have to approve who they can rent out the facility to. What kind of? I don't even know what to call that.
It's no different when we tried to go down there to the Oak Business Center and got turned away to get a studio.
Mm-hmm. Somebody put what was the final count?
Shit, too many.
It's too. Listen, it was over 30, and that was just what we coming up with.
We missing. I can't.
We missing a lot because I did one count
before.
before.
Used to be down there.
It was over 50.
He used to always come up there and talk.
Jay Nino. Yeah, that's the one. He was gonna get arrested. Jay Nino. Yeah, James Cochran. He's been put out. I didn't have him down. Okay, Jay. I said Jay. I mean, so we. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. So put that article back up because this shows the tomfoolery. Now listen, y'all go get y'all money. Whoever this attorney is, go get your money because these council people putting out people because this lunatic, let's call it what she is, a lunatic. This person in Eastpointe was throwing out people. So scroll it back down because I'm gonna read the article. So the city of Eastpointe will pay 4 of its residents nearly $72,000 to settle a federal lawsuit they filed when former Mayor Monique Owens suppressed them for criticizing her during city council meetings 2 years ago. Each resident will receive $17,910 as the city council agreed to settle the lawsuit. Mary Hall, Rayford, Karen Belts, Karen Mujarjan, Cindy Federal sued Owens and in the city U.S. District Court in November 2022. Federal court records indicate there is a consent decree in which city will remove from all future city council meeting agendas and not enforce language requiring members of public to direct their comments to the council as a body, not an individual member of body or council. The consent decree also states that during public participation periods at city council meetings, subject to reasonable time, place, manner, and restrictions, members of the public may direct and or express comment, criticism, or praise regarding public officials. The Foundation of Individual Rights and Expressions, a Philadelphia-based nonprofit, represents the resident. If you have been thrown out of the Flint City Council, scroll back down, Mickey, the Foundation of Civil Rights and Expression. Somebody out there, Google it.
The name is fire if you break it down.
The name is fire. Yeah. Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. These people got thrown out. So all these 40-some people, y'all probably should be getting paid too because they threw y'all out. Liddell threw you out. Candace threw you out. They threw you out.
And they down, and the ACLU got the office down in Detroit. So you can... You want to go?
Oh, that
I'm
part.
Have to go.
Listen, my case is that I'm going to the state of appeals. Oh, I'm not done. Yeah, I'm not done. They got mad because I said a Kool-Aid stand. I run the city like a Kool-Aid stand because I said she's not a nice person. She's not. Keep that up, please. I want to finish reading that article because I hadn't had a chance to read it. This just make my day. Listen, because when you public office, okay. It says on Tuesday, City Council passed a resolution apologizing to the foursome for the events on March 22nd, September 6th. For the days. The individual dollar figure paid to each resident represents the year 1791 of the First Amendment's ratification. More than $11,000 in attorney fees will be covered by defendants for a total of $83,000, according to the foundation. Scroll up, y'all go get y'all money because they've been throwing y'all out because they don't want y'all to say how you feel. You can't clap, you can't call, you can't say I don't agree with what you're doing. The First Amendment protects. Oh, here we go again. The First Amendment, which I state, the First Amendment protects every American's right to criticize government officials. Attorney Connor Fitzpatrick states in a news release, with the settlement, Eastpointers can have confidence their voices will be heard and local governments can be left with no doubt there are serious consequences for violating the First Amendment. Messages were left Thursday for the attorney representing only the city in the lawsuit. Go get y'all money. Contact these people because this council is out of control. It's out of control. Okay, let's scroll up. So this, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And some y'all can Google her. I remember watching her. It was like ours. It really took me back to our councils because she was shutting people down. She didn't want to hear it. It's just like, you get the warning. They say something, that's your warning. But I didn't say, that's your second warning. It was the same thing. So y'all contact that. What was the name of that place again? Basically, FIRE is the acronym.
Yeah, acronym, FIRE.
FIRE. Contact them. Look, them people got $17,000. and the attorney fees paid, and it's the same thing. They can duplicate. Yeah, y'all might not even have to go to court.
Yeah, because they can show
Because
precedent.
That part.
Yeah.
Get your money. Listen, they acted a fool down there, throwing you out. You can't say that. Candace telling people that's a vulgarity. Look, nobody got to come up. Look, Doug come up there and talk just crazy to me, which God bless his soul in his issue with black women. You know, he wants to make Shaxta Little my relative. Shaxta, y'all can be a part of the fam. I mean, and I support. I didn't know who was even gonna be the ombudsman. Yeah, but
he playing them though.
He playing, but why? And here's the thing. Oh, he done played him.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, right.
But why would you even deal with somebody like him? His friend gonna send me a little. Tell me some. I ain't gonna even deal with him. I blocked him. I would like to see Jerry in person. I would like, because Jerry's the same one who said something to Miss Liz Taylor, and he was an 81-year-old lady's face being disrespectful. Please say that to my face, okay?
I didn't know that.
Please
was
say
that
to me.
Friend, Doug's friend. We was at the ENA.
They live together.
I didn't know that because Winters was talking. He was the one that got mad. Winters wouldn't do, let him in the group or something. What you want to come in the group for? If you just like I don't get a lot of this stuff. It's like tripping me out.
Yeah. Oh, Lumi said Carol got kicked out too. Carol did. Everybody, listen, everybody didn't got kicked out. Somebody said Jerry's in the chat. You can address him now. Jerry can he can have his little personal conversation with me face to face. I don't do all that little girl stuff. I'm a grown woman. We can talk face to face in person. Him threatening her and in her face. What kind of man does that? What kind of man does that?
I've never seen nothing like this before.
I have not, and it's funny. It's not funny. Let me state that it's not, because I've had people say, some black men say, "I'm gonna come there to protect her." Who's saying, "I want him to say something to her," and I'm there, or to any other woman, because they've gotten too comfortable talking crazy to women. And so then when you say something back, they get mad or whatever. They gonna run up on the right person. The right person, that they are. So
let them cut up though.
That part. So look, go to FIRE is the acronym, FIRE, and I'm gonna have to put that article up, y'all. Look, Mickey, I ain't even read that. I don't know how I didn't read that. I mean, it's been so much going on this week.
But now people know it's home.
God, yes. And that Monique, she was a nut job. When you watch it, but it's the same. When you watch our council meetings, it is like a twilight zone. And it is. And it's like a twilight zone.
I agree with you. But now you can see help is on the way. Now you're seeing somebody is finally being held accountable.
As it should.
You know what I'm saying? You're starting to see somebody being held accountable. Like I say, Jerry and the way Doug been able to come down there and cause havoc. That's why I'm a little surprised with
I'm gonna tell you, Doug, and I want this to be very clear. I did not hear Doug, but you have a responsibility, and I do as a council person, that when residents, the police, and city staff are saying, you cannot come down there and use a hate crime and make he could have caused a riot. You don't have that you don't have the right to do that. And and I did not hear him, but Sergeant Villarreal did, and he did his job, and he did make sure he got out. Because Jedediah was on him like a. He was like, well, "What are you doing?" Da, 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 da. He was like, it's like.
No, but just look how they did it though. Look how with the fake cry that Liddell was called a monkey. When Dennis said, "Let's talk about the monkey in the room." The monkey in the room was Ashley Capital, and people like they swung that. But you had Chris Martin, a bishop. You had the other one that was Pastor Harris down there, and y'all went for this. When that Channel 12 to put it out there, the press conference, how Liddell did the fake tears came down.
Oh, that press
but
conference.
Yet, she was being threatened, but yet you can see another one. Go pick up that city council video when she was standing there wanting to fight Rich, Dennis.
Oh, the one where she had the green shirt on, sitting in the wrong seat, breaking city council rules.
Then bring up the one when she pulled up on when we was out there. You know, I was just filming, but when they was getting signature. Why did she needed a police escort when you can pull up? When she was
she pulled up in that burner vehicle, jumped out that burner vehicle, and she was not scared. Now her outfit had her, it was probably like 85 degrees, but that velour outfit had her about 105 degrees.
Oh, she was hot. She was hot, steaming.
And she was going on. She was not happy. She was not happy. And she was not scared.
Right.
She didn't have her police escort this last week.
What was her decorum at, though? Remember, she always hollered decorum?
Decorum. I don't know. You know.
Was it decorum when she pulled up?
No. Now she didn't get out of pocket, though.
Remember the lady asked her could she move her car?
Well, see, I wasn't there, so I didn't get all. I wasn't there.
It was a resident because she parked on the wrong side. The lady was like, "Can you move your car?" Liddell back, she looked at her like, "Whatever." When I get done talking, and she kept her beef going on with Jedediah. That was the lady you hear in the background. She like, "Can you please move your car?"
I heard. Okay,
I'm trying to, she blocked that lady for 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see, ain't nobody. But this is so-called a lady that was scared that pulled up into a bunch of people. They was not
on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah, she pulled up and went up there to these people's house where, Miss Beverly was up there getting the signature for the recall. And how can you be? But you scared, and people fell for it. Did the news bring it up? The Channel 12 or M Live or Men?
No, they did not.
How she ran up on people without that police escort.
Listen, she didn't get that escort, and let me tell you this. I don't know if I told everybody about it, which this guy pissed me off the party house. And so the party house guy got shot. Oh. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for him, okay? And he got shot, and look, they gonna kill him. I mean, and that's just the streets, because this guy, they're walking around the front yard with ski masks. I've had to learn why they wear ski masks. I know we're diverting off of the one topic, but how many calls were missed because we didn't have police available. We didn't have them. They sitting up in council. We had a whole tactical team. It was 12 officers there one time to throw residents out. 12. I mean, they had tactical gear on. They was throwing y'all out. You look, y'all, I got the pictures if you need them for your case. Your girl got the pictures. Just go back and look, I got the pictures showing when they were weaponizing the police on the residents. The lady got Miss Smith, Miss Ann Smith got put out for doing this. I forgot. She wasn't even talking. She wasn't even talking. She got put out. And we don't have enough officers for calls. So my residents are very upset. And so to see all them officers, they have been upset. So the one guy who they can't even get someone, they shot him. They shut up his house 3 times. Last Friday, Sunday, and Monday. They shot up his house. And he walking around with his friends in the front yard with ski masks on. I'm glad he's gone. He's gone. They shot him in the leg. He has children in the house. It's unfortunate, but this is the life he's living. Chief Green, I'm not gonna take anything from him. He ain't taking my calls now, y'all. I always tell y'all when he is and when he ain't. And he did send Deputy Chief, I forget his name because I call him the dog whisperer because he has that dog with him all the time. He's the K9 unit. And he went over there and the guy cussed out the Deputy Chief. He called him all kind of MFers, F you, get the F off, blah, 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 blah. Then he sent the captain over there. The guy, the one who just got shot, cussed out the captain. Well, they shot him. And he's clearly moving out the neighborhood. He will not be missed. He was also on Facebook charging $5 to get into the parties. Could care less about the neighborhood. Gunshots bullets have went through to other people's homes. And for me, the police need to be like the old police. You want to talk crazy? Yeah, we're going to sit in front of your house and dispatch any unit from, if we have a call, they're going to sit in front of your house 24/7. We're going to make it so hard for you. I mean, he had no respect for nobody. Nobody. I was on the phone with a resident one morning, like, it was like almost 3:00, and I played the gunshots. Matter of fact, I've got the other ones, but I may have to start doing the show twice a week. But they've got video. I mean, they got videos of the drive-by, videos of the gunshots, and people are terrified. But that's a whole nother thing about police. But we don't have enough police.
No, we don't.
And for our police,
we do have enough police. Come to council.
Look, and what was right? Let you clap too many times.
Yeah, you got police.
You gonna get thrown out and arrested.
They never have a problem showing up downtown.
Come on, they listen. They clap or they did this or they caught.
Did you forget the dome when Mays was living when they had all the police?
Oh, we had them out there too.
You forgot they had a whole bunch. But y'all got us, everybody else safe, and y'all did. We got all out there. No, they have the police, but not for
on the residents.
Facts.
And I've always talked about calling the police on the residents, weaponizing the police against the residents. And so Eastpointe, look, y'all, listen, I think them pictures is in the emails too. They get it because Jay Nino, I was really afraid for him that night. I was asking him, I went over there to talk. I said, can you just, he said no. And I respect what he said. He said no. He says, I have a right to. And this is a young man. He changed his shift, but he used to be out there. And he said, no, I'm not leaving. And I got a picture. I got a picture of him.
Don't forget, Paul been able to get away with stuff too.
Paul, because Paul is clearly on the payroll.
Facts.
And so
payroll, you don't get throughout.
You don't get throughout. You can talk to people sideways and crazy and everything else.
Hostage 42 of comments being deleted is not me deleting it over here. It must be the book. This is what they do.
The who?
Whoever deleting the it might be YouTube or depending on what they're saying. If you're talking about this administration, they will delete the comments.
How do they delete them?
I don't know how they be doing this stuff, man. I don't be getting it.
Well,
where they be censoring the comments, let me say that.
And my show ain't even at that.
Yeah, but when you're talking about what we was talking about, you brought up the fire.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah, but that's the type of stuff I'm starting to notice that's
Facebook getting deleted.
Don't like. Yeah, you can't be talking about this.
I'm trying to find them pictures to show we had.
Rough though. When I see them, I seen kids at the store with the mask on. We've been having some.
I didn't know what they were for.
I didn't know. You know what I do? I go to another store.
You know who told me about them? Pastor Jannard Legs.
I didn't know. I've been down that you brought that up because I've been hollering that. I be seeing them with the mask, and we had some 90-degree heat. I said, you're going to pass out out here. But then I had to think about it. I said, when people usually put a mask on, they don't want nobody to know who they is.
And it didn't click for me
either. I pass right by that store when I be seeing them. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
I see them with their mask on. I see if it be more, if it just one. But if I see 2 or 3 up there with mask on, I just go outside. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I go out there to the white area and go to the stores. I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't even got time.
But you scared to go to the local store?
I did, but like I said, my uncle was not my uncle. This is my cousin. He's like 63. He got popped in the leg and didn't even have nothing to do with nothing. 60 was either 62 or 63. Didn't have nothing to do. They had a shootout at the store, and he just happened to go at the store at this time and walked out and got hit.
And bullets don't have a name. I mean, just like in the Regencies, I forget Midtown now. Young girl went out to take a look. She got killed. I think that week, 2 people, or was it 3, got killed in the Regency. This was last year. Bullets don't have names, and they go through people's homes. Some of the targeted ones where we have a gang issue, like the 12-year-old little girl Trinity, who was in her bed sleeping, and they were targeting someone else. They shoot up the whole house. We have a gang problem, and we have no gang task force. Chief Green should have made it a priority. I was speaking to last night a gentleman who was a detective in Lansing. And he said to me, he said, Tonya, he said, you Googled me? I said, yeah, I Googled you. I did. And his brother was like, man, she Googled you. when I told you her name, I wanted to see what it was he did, because he was like, my brother didn't play. He worked with those gangs. So he said at a point, Lansing had 25 gangs. And he hunted them all down, broke them all up, brought them to justice, and got the kids the help. Some were kids, some were adults. The gangs are run by adults. He said Lansing had 25 gangs. I'm like, good Lord. We don't hear nothing about, they're like, basically, they're just going to die through attrition, and so my issue, that's a whole nother thing. So not having not having a policy or a plan, and our children are dying. They're getting killed. The hit list. I had a meeting yesterday with someone, and they were like, I didn't know that, Tonya. Can you send it to me? I said, yes. And this is someone who has businesses here. Didn't know about the hit list. We have one. When I went down to 810 day, which I think it should just be 420 day. I'm saying 810 day should just be 420 day, because everybody down there was smoking weed. It is a good people. If you like to people watch,
right.
It's a good people watch. And I only saw 2 police officers. Normally you would see in the center lane, the officers' cars, and they have to keep the cruisers on. I didn't see not one in that center line. And I didn't see the sheriff's car either. There was no sheriff. There was no Flint police, like in that lane where they show, Yeah. I saw 2 police officers, and it took me over an hour being there before I even saw them. And that was when it was almost over. They were starting to clear out.
Wow.
And so they had that, not the Gus Macker, the Pro-Am. They had 1 officer, I was told. The other ones didn't want to show up. And so our police officers are saying, hey, I ain't kind of trying to risk my life. They're not planning this better. But then you got the mayor being the police chief. So unbelievable. So anyways, FIRE is the acronym, y'all. Yeah. If y'all need them pictures of showing that,
And it's the ACLU, because they're working together. It's FIRE.
Oh, they're working with them.
ACLU of Detroit. They got an office down in Detroit, because I'm seriously,
Mick, you was thrown out too.
Yeah, I was.
I ain't put your name on the list.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. I
didn't give you. Remember, Art went first, and I went 3 minutes later.
Who was all in that hall? It was like 3 or 4 people got put out that day.
Everybody was. It was about 9 that was in the hallway.
Listen, and to everybody that fights for justice, I stand with y'all. Tia did get put out. Tia's sister got put out too.
Okay, right.
She got put out.
It's over. You gonna down there have over 50 people? Because what about the people who ain't returned, who've been put out?
We would have to watch, and we need to keep a list. I don't know if anybody got any spare time, but I'm gonna start keeping a list. And as we think about people, who watches a lot of this? AK Cole. He watches all these meetings. He can probably remember a lot of these, too, because I know that little whole line is filled on my paper. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
no, you right,
30, 31.
I'm finna get on top
32, 33, 34, 35.
I'm gonna get on top of it.
36, 37, 30. That's 39 people.
We know.
This is off the top, 39 just off the top of our head. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
And we know there's more.
Right. I know it's more, because it's people that we forgetting. It's been over. We'll just go 30. That's still too many.
That's
people.
39.
39.
This is 39.
Because they didn't agree with the ones with the majority. That is crazy.
So, and this censoring, if you can't say, which is up to them, what's vulgar. Now check out this move now. And I've seen in the comments, because people did hear that Quincy Councilman Murphy had been sick. He is in the hospital. People have been posting. My prayers for him to get better. For him, my disagreements in politics has nothing to do with, I want him to be well. Absolutely. And I think Quincy Quincy does have, he's done some good things for the community. I'm not gonna take that from him.
I give you that.
I'm gonna give him that. But I didn't like the fact that when you got with those 5, his vote didn't remain independent. It started to be independent, as y'all saw the past month. I'm say 6 weeks, because Liddell, he's like, y'all kept telling me that this money was gone. This money ain't gone. And so he was, y'all go back and watch some of them. He was really, not going along with him. Now check out the move. Now we do know he has been recalled, and there is a 3rd ward race. So there are 5 people on that ballot: Quincy, Carey, Beverly Biggs, Rich Jones, and AC Dumas. And I have said Carey Nelson is put in that race. I feel personally, because they probably think Quincy's not, his numbers. Beverly got over 700 signatures, and it wasn't even, I think, 500 votes in the whole race. So if you're doing the numbers, it looks like, Quincy may not be able to hold his seat. So Carey Nelson is in the seat. Now check this out, because I'm gonna have you put this up. Now this is my question, because I'm gonna send this to the county clerk. I'm gonna send this to you too, because we're gonna put this up. Carey Nelson works for the city. He works for the city.
If this mayor he worked for the city and he finna be on city council, ain't that a conflict of interest?
I'm gonna send this to you.
Unbelievable.
So we're gonna put this up, and we're gonna read this together. So he's supposed to take a leave of absence.
Oh, stop.
And his date would have been June 14th. So he should technically, and if this is correct, he should be removed from the ballot. So I looked at the move that did you see? They got some problems. You seen they appealed to Dennis Pfeiffer to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Did you see that? Liddell says, Councilman Pfeiffer, if you could do the Pledge of Allegiance. Now you was just trying to get him thrown out and saying he called you the monkey. He ain't apologized because he said you was a monkey. Now you trying to break bread with him and have him do the Pledge of Allegiance. Come on now. Because they don't have that 5. They don't have that 5. So I don't know if she's thinking Dennis Pfeiffer is the weakest link. Yeah, I think she thinks he's going to be the weakest link. Does she realize she dragged his entire family, dragged his brother?
Now you see why I be saying, like, not just tried to drag him, she tried to finish him.
Yeah.
When she said, basically calling her a monkey, because we know, let's just be honest.
And went to the Young Turks. Yeah, remember the Young Turks where Dr. Rashid, he laid into Dennis Pfeiffer. Laid into him.
I almost thought Dennis said it, and I was there in real time. I was there, but when you see, I'm like, I know Dennis ain't what that. Dennis didn't say what he said, but it's just the way that she did it, and she think Dennis supposed to go back.
You see, she cast that out,
and that man had death threats. Remember that?
Death threats. His family wasn't protected. Chief Green has still not returned his call for him to get help with his family.
But he gave her some help.
This is the first time we've seen she ain't been getting a ride. So we'd have to go back to when he claimed. How long has it been? Has it been a year? Because she didn't play this monkey. She was just talking about this monkey thing the past couple of weeks.
Facts.
Then she was like, she wanted him. He hasn't been here. His poor attendance, and she was still going at him. But I seen her. I'm like, oh, she throwing him a line. So does she think that Dennis Pfeiffer is going to be the weakest link for her 5? That he's going to now forget everything that she has said? Come on now. Come on. And then she stood next to him and wanted to fight her and Candace in between. Let's not forget that video.
Facts.
I done played it for y'all. But she sat in the wrong
Called
seat.
him racist.
Called all for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, racist.
She did this.
They forget that though.
That part. I was like, I'm like, check out what she did. So let's put that up. So talking about that, and we are not talking about everything that we need to talk about for some reason. So what is that you got up?
Oh, that ain't me.
Wait a minute.
That's what you had me put up.
No.
It's a commercial.
Oh no, I just need a what's the name? It's a still pic.
Hold on.
That one. Yeah.
I clicked on the wrong one, but this was up. It was up.
Okay, so I just want to know that line. I was like, just close your viper. You see the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like, did she not realize everything she did to that man? She raised his blood pressure, had his family threatened, his brother, his children. You know, she put this man through it. Now she gonna throw him a line.
She sure did.
And listen, she called Jonathan Jarrett. I don't want you out here being ignorant.
Oh, facts.
I'm like, don't y'all fall for that okie-doke. Okay, so Kerry Nelson is in the race. He's a sitting employee. I believe they said he works in the building and permit. So this is City of Flint law. It says city employee to take a leave of absence without pay upon complying with filing requirements for elective officer. His date would have been June 14th, y'all. We in August 31st.
September.
Yeah, right tomorrow is September 1st. So it says every non-elective officer or employee of the City of Flint who becomes a candidate for any elective office created by the charter of the City of Flint shall apply for and receive a leave of absence without pay during the period of candidacy. The period of candidacy shall begin when the employee complies with the candidacy filing requirements and which was June 14th, and shall end when the candidate is either defeated or takes office. No city employee shall be required to commence a leave of absence more than 60 days before the date of election to the position. No city employee shall be required to commence a leave of absence more than 60 days before the date of any election relating to the position, regardless of whether the period of candidacy has commenced. So this was passed. It's an ordinance, y'all. Hold on. This is an ordinance. This is the law, y'all. Listen, it was passed May 5th, 1978.
No, you said 2024, right?
Yeah, but this is an ordinance.
Passed in 78, so they can't lie.
And it's an ordinance. Like we have a whole ordinance book, which is on my coffee table.
So that was passed in 78.
It's an ordinance, absolutely.
How they miss
you can't. It has not been taken away. This is an ordinance.
Over 40 years.
It's an ordinance. It has nothing to do with our council rules and I say even our chart. The ordinance has not been turned back. So this is going to the state of Michigan and to our county clerk. And it's some attorneys out there saying, I don't like how they're moving.
46 years. This has been on the books.
It's an ordinance.
For 46 years.
Ordinance is the law. It's a law.
And they're going to say they didn't know this.
Listen, it's a law. It was passed.
They're going to say
it has not been pulled back. It is not.
This man. That's what I'm saying. Flint need lawyers bad. Like the residents.
We only have 3. Everybody keep leaving. Stop. Somebody asked me who's left originally from when Neely started. I know a lot of people say he leave, they'll come back. A lot. Really? You know. So I just try to put up the facts, y'all. Because they be trying. I don't use alternative facts. I use facts. So that 3rd ward race is getting it's interesting. It's interesting.
If you go by this, Kerry got to step down.
Kerry need to be off the ballot. He broke a law.
He need to be off the ballot.
June 14th. He's taking a check.
Yeah, he's still.
You know, and so
be a lie.
You know, I'm not letting this go. I mean, some of this stuff is just crazy. And these people are watching our elections. Attorneys. And thank you for the free attorney advice. The attorneys who are saying they're saying it's time to clean up Flint, Tonya. Tonya, it's time to clean up Flint. We want people who work for the people. Right. We want people who work for people. And it's not too many down there that care. And this is what they're saying. So I'm not an attorney, but I appreciate the attorneys who are helping. I do. I do.
Need y'all.
Listen.
Lawsuits for them too. I'm sick of it.
Listen, look, with them, I think we're up to 40 now because I forgot to add somebody. Yeah. So it's 40 now. Y'all better go get y'all money. Yeah, really go get y'all money. I've been thrown out, ostracized, embarrassed, talked to disrespectfully. We got
put to the as
y'all are in the timeout corner.
The cool kids circle was square. We in the cool kids square. They didn't even do that right with putting us back there. That was against the law. But you ain't hear Channel 12 say nothing, man. Michigan fine.
No, they only be mad talking about them when they're back there in the corner. Yeah. They do talk about them when they're back there in that corner.
Sure do.
So we looking at how they got to figure out 5 votes. Dennis, will you do the Pledge of Allegiance? I was like,
I pledge allegiance to give it to y'all as soon as the tide turns.
So, they did a number on Dennis. I literally did a number.
I forgot Candace when he was between.
Matter of fact, let's put that video up. We got that video. That video was. So
I ain't forgot what they.
Listen, that day was so bad because all during that meeting, Judy couldn't control Candace nor Liddell, and it was so bad. It was so bad, and so. For me, watching that, and me and Jerry saying point of order, Dennis having, it's like they boxed him in. They boxed him in, and then according to council rules, state that you have to sit in your designated seat. That one where you see her standing up right there. I gotta throw that up. Let's play that.
You threatened her.
You can rule. Look, she's.
This is the corn. This is why he's not. What's the name right now?
Why what?
That District 8.
District 8
nearly couldn't get that district congressional seat.
No, they didn't want him.
This though. This why he got dead like that.
Because of what?
Because of this right here. This is who he got running point for him. This is point guard of the future.
His point guards are not doing their job.
Him, if you had an issue, she's standing up and nothing you up.
I didn't even know. You threatened her.
That's the problem. Wow. That's not. I've been threatened. So what we gonna do?
She wasn't threatened. She wasn't threatened.
She said, "What we gonna do?"
There's no back and forth, and if there was, I could not hear what he said.
Wait a minute, who in of order? She is out of order. Madam Chair,
she's out of order. Out of order.
She's out of seat. She's being argumentative, going back and forth.
Going back and forth, that will be your warning with Dr. Lewis. And Mr. Feinberg, do not yell from that seat.
Now, does she think that Dennis Pfeiffer gonna forget that day and how many monkey comments she made? So when we doing and this is the politics of it.
They joked about him having a stroke, like they
what they did. Yeah. That was the epitome of fact. I don't even know what to call that. It's not even classlessness. Yeah. When they said about him having a stroke. Yeah. That if she thinks he's going to forget about that in her his family, he's not. So they got to work on Jonathan Jarrett. I mean, that would be the, because we got to do business. And they, there is business that needs to be in. We did have 6 resolutions that didn't make it in enough time that we should have been voting on to do the business. We should have, but they don't have their 5 votes.
And that's why that meeting didn't go on.
It did, right. They don't have their 5 votes, y'all. But that was before we got those before the
Right.
You know, the cyber attack that they just did a press conference on this week. The cyber attack was done on the 14th. They did a news conference 10, 12 days later, 14 days later, whatever. Just craziness.
Yeah. And I'm just saying,
crazy.
the rules, they got that 5th vote, so they didn't show
They
up.
didn't.
Yeah, that's why.
They didn't.
And you see how they quickly got out of that. That was one of the quickest council meetings. That was quicker than when quorum breaks up.
Unless that look, and I was, you know, I was like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm like, y'all don't have anything on this agenda. I'm like, what is this? You know, and I'm expecting to have an agenda once we got there, because I know we got 6 items.
Facts.
And there were some other items that the mayor administration needed to be sent up. Now, we do have emergency purchasing order that if they need something, they have the right to use that to make sure the city services don't stop, which I'm assuming that they're utilizing, which they should. And so when I'm looking at, we didn't get those 6, I said, no, I'm going home. Right. I said, don't call me, don't waste my time like this on a Thursday. And so she goes, no, Tonya, don't leave. I said, I'm leaving. Y'all had no agenda.
No.
My residents call me. I mean, my residents know how to reach me. Literally, they do. You know, and some of theirs know how to reach me too. And so I'm like, I'm not staying. She said, no, we need to make sure we have quorum, because Pfeiffer had not made it yet. And when he came, because I hadn't talked to him, I was happy to see him, you know, but you know, I know he travels a lot. And so she's like, no, Quincy won't be here. Quincy's in the hospital. And so everybody in that room could hear her say that, because you were in the back and you could hear her. So I'm like, oh. And so there were no agenda items. Now, I do want to say this. There is, and I want y'all to stay on the city website and pay attention. Me and Councilman Jarrett, y'all call him Councilman JJ, we're talking about, and I don't want nobody saying Tonya ain't voting on mental health. I ain't voting on no more mental health, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not. And I'm going to tell y'all why. We haven't done anything for the residents, really, to where it's tangible. Not one shingle has been put on the roof, not one furnace, not any windows. Saginaw's done phase 3. We ain't done nothing. I'm going to give a shout out to Emily Dorr, the planning. She has did her job by building up that department to the capacity. So me and Councilman Jarrett were talking, and he said, look, I'm going to make a call. He said, can we move this money around? And, you know, what can we really do? So he made a call, found out that we had $850,000 that was coming back. That G card, and there is the resolution. And in the resolution, it states, the money went to G card. G card in June didn't have a person they laid that person off, and they didn't have a person who could fulfill the obligation for the roof. So the $850,000 they were sent back to the city now. So Councilman Jarrett said, hey, you know, he called me, said, can we reallocate that money? I said, you got to ask Emily. I said, I don't see why we not. He said, so do you think we'd have the capacity? You know, do we send it back out? I said, you really need to ask. He called her. She says, I've got the capacity to, I have the capacity to do it ourselves, because she's got a staff. She staffed her department. That's what she's supposed to do the job. So there is a resolution for $850,000, 5% overhead. They're going to do 72 roofs, and they're going to spread them out evenly across the ward. So each ward will get 9 roofs done. It should be more than that. Saginaw did like was it 300 and something roofs? But this is the way to make some change. The biggest thing when we talk about how we can make change, we need 5 votes. Leon L. Alameen is a rubber stamper. He voted no on stuff the right way on the Wednesday. They called him in on a Thursday and voted yes with the rubber stampers. I'm not voting on anything else mental health, because I want to do something that's sustainable. I want something that's tangible. I want to be able to say, like, this comes up, and I appreciate Councilman Jarrett, because that's what he does in this community. And part of his job is helping with resources with the community. And he was like, we can get this done, Tonya. I'm like, can you? And so those are things that excite me when we talk about working for the community and not our own nonprofits. And so 72 people will get roofs, but they ain't sending that one up, and they will get them. And we should be getting more. So money that we can move around. I ain't voting on mental health. Genesee County, not that we don't have an issue, but we've given a lot. And they have a millage. Genesee County Community Health, I'm still not understanding everything that they do. There's a millage for mental health. And so what are they doing with that? And so for me, I want to have something that's tangible. I want to be able to see it. I want the residents to feel it. You know, I want to take some of that money and do furnaces. And it's funny because my best friends, my besties forever, Michelle, Stephanie, me and Carol grew up like we were cousins. We went to the same church. Our mothers are best friends. And Wendy, who lives in Yolanda. My best friends been my best friends since I was grown, before I was grown.
Young, right?
Yeah,
That's my girl there.
Yeah, Michelle. We lived one house in between each other. We lived on Verdun Street. We went to pre-K. We got whoopings together. Literally got whoopings together. And so I want to make sure that we're doing something. You know, this is a start for the windows. I want to do furnaces because we're going to be getting, you know, October is the time when you cut in your furnaces to see if they're working. That's when our weather really gets cold at night. We may have 78 in the day, but you know, the night may be 42. You know, we're in Michigan.
Right.
And so I want to make sure we have something that's tangible because we went through $94.7 million. And I don't know where we see, I don't see where we can see where the money is went. Or, you know, y'all can't feel the money that it helped y'all. Not at all. And I don't see that. So I'm not voting, not because mental health, and I don't want anybody to say, oh, she doesn't support mental health. Not true. Because y'all know them folks that came up there and I fought for them when they did not. You know, some of them did not vote for mental health. So I am supporting, I want to move that money around to where we can do something that people can feel it. You know, I remember my friends told me, they were like, you know, girl, go and get that new furnace. I'm like, no, and look, my furnace is still, it is working. Yeah, but I've been to people's homes. It is not working. It's not. And when you're somebody's homes, and I've been to people's homes, residents' home, and these are not, I'm gonna say in my ward. Why is my daddy calling me? Yeah. And you know, they have the oven on for heat. No, watch. Daddy.
What's up?
I'm on my show.
Oh, we're going.
Is it an emergency?
No, ain't no emergency, movie star.
I'll call you when I'm done. Bye. So when you walk into residents' homes and you see they have the oven on, the oven door open, and the aisles burning for heat. Right. Put the residents first. And I started going over, you know, what I made my promises to my ward, and I had, and not promise what I said I would work on, and I did. And I was actually happy because I went over some things that I didn't think I would ever get done. 809 South Ballinger will be coming down at some point. Deb Cherry, I appreciate the county treasurer for that. I was able to get roads paved, Orchard Lane, Fremont Street, Donaldson, Millbourne, Thomas Street. I was able to get those paved. I wrote a reckless driving ordinance to where, because I had 2 people that were killed, actually 2 that were killed, 3 hit, people who were hit on Ballinger. And so I wrote the reckless driving to where they can take the vehicle, they can confiscate it because they were sliding and just driving crazy and racing. And so I was going through my list, Club Sunoco, working with, we don't have those problems anymore. Wrote 3-point action plan. That was before I got elected. And you know, we don't have the violence up there and the fights. That stopped. That's stopped. So I made my list of my promise of what I told the residents, getting sidewalks. I kept a list. I I don't know, hundreds going. I knocked. I tried to knock every door in my ward if I did not. And if it was an issue, I wrote them down and I addressed them and took care of them as I went along. And we've been able to get sidewalks replaced, Mott Park, getting our clubhouse to be repaired. There's a water issue. What? How can you be reached? I want to donate to the teddy bears for the vine. Listen, oh, I can't listen. I guess I don't take campaign money, but look, everybody else got my number. Reach out to me because for and I am out of teddy bears. I am out. The joke with my friends is like, we're gonna give them little balls on your car. So when you go, they'll know that you out there. So No Name, you can inbox me on I don't know if you No Name on social media, and I'll give you an address or give it to you. So when we talk about what are our goals, I wanted a public safety plan to where we're using it, and I feel like it's frustrating because we're losing the war on gun violence in our community, especially when I feel there's a war on kids and there's a hit list. There's a hit list, you know, and so I took a lot of backlash from people when I supported RX Kids. And I supported, we gave 1 million, they had another 55 million. But I look at the mothers and and let me tell you, and people say, oh, it's for some kids, they're promoting to get kids. Let me tell you something. I had working families, okay, people with households, not just black, but white, have said, you know what, Tonya, that came, thank you for supporting it. That came in handy. Childcare is high. So they get that $1,500 that trimester and another $500 per month for 12 months. It is hard. We don't have big mamas or grannies anymore. They ain't keeping the kids. They just don't have it. Daycare is high. And so we didn't say, or the negativity that was put about that did not include that our level of income, that even if you are a working married couple, you still need help because it went to everybody. If you had a child in the city of Flint, you got the money. You had you were offered the money. You could decline it, but if you were a child that lived in the city of Flint, you were given that money. And they were like, we needed the money. We didn't realize that child care was going to cost us over $2,500 a month. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And we look at the rollbacks. Why I say it's important that we vote. People tell us they're not voting for Kamala Harris. She has a program for $25,000 for first-time homeowners. They claim they can't find their policies. Look, I found them, and they're out there. You didn't put the right Google search. So I'm not voting for any more mental health. I'm not. And it's a whole bunch of other things I may not vote for because I want to put some furnaces in people's homes. And I want to support the people because Saginaw put theirs in this will be their third winter. I think their third winter. Now, I know there's a critical repair that Habitat for Humanity does for furnace repair, and they do a critical repair. But it gets so overwhelmed because your furnace don't cut on, right. You don't know what's wrong with it, and they become overwhelmed. And some of these furnaces, like I do know, because mine still has a pilot light. And I know, before I did this, I've got some people that I deal with that it was called bartering. And I was part of 2 bartering groups. And they were like, look, you really need to get a new furnace time without a pilot because a good wind will blow the pilot light out. I'm like, look, I got a brand new blower motor on there. I'm like, that's and they didn't rebuild that furnace. He's like, yeah, but if it's a wind, my pilot light blows out. So at some point, I am going to let them I am going to get a furnace but I'm not using the city money. I can get my own. I just have to be home long enough to get it done. That's just the only problem. I have to be home long enough to get it done. So I do want to say this, that when we look at voting, y'all pay attention to that. The seniors, the contract for the senior center at Hasselbrink, I'm extremely concerned about. And we put that up. And I want you to pay attention to some key things. One, $500, they shouldn't have to pay anything. They're fundraising to pay 3 part-time employees. Fundraising to pay them. Second of all, they are this contract is technically $2,000 per month, but they claim they're giving a $1,500 credit. I don't know how just no, and that's in the contract. And another, because I'm gonna put it on the floor to amend it. Secondly, the mayor wants to know they have to give 5-day notice on who is visiting or who is at who they're renting to. I'm not that I'm putting that on the floor to have it excluded. I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all saw the beautiful pictures, and I'm gonna say my 6th ward I love. I love the city of Flint though. But y'all saw the beautiful pictures of the decorating, and I believe the decoration was done by Rosemary, and it was a beautiful job. She's in the 6th ward line. She's been at a lot of the meetings, and you can rent out the clubhouse at a very reasonable price. Like, was it $375 or so? It's reasonable. And I think 75 is your deposit, is 300. So, but it's on my page. They don't have to give all of their funds. They keep themselves for the next 10. They have a 10-year contract, and then the money that they get, they take it back for their own improvements, and so they're able to budget to do what they need to do. And so, micromanaging Hasselbrink so that the administration, you got to lease, and then they're going to tell you who you can lease it out to. Now, the lie that they were saying was that they didn't have a policy. Hasselbrink has always had a liability policy that they pay for. They also pay for their own consumer's bill, which is like $980 a month. They own parking lot, street lights for the parking lot bill. That's $240. They also pay their own water bill, which is $505 a month. So we may need y'all to rally. So all them, 41 people we got on that list has been thrown out. I need y'all to bring your activism to support these seniors, because they may have to picket. This is and protest, because I'm not supporting not anything over more than $1. You have to have a dollar amount. And they should not be scrutinized to who they gonna lease out to. Let them run that place. Okay. That building would have been sold by emergency management if they had more, if Councilman Mays hadn't to work with Hasselbrink, because the doors were chained and locked, to get it back open, and it created a nonprofit, it would have been sold off. So I'm not supporting anything more than $1. We have to support our seniors, and we have to support them in our community. They have so many services, their nutrition, they have dance classes, they have aerobics, they have exercise, they have billiards, they have bingo, they have dominoes, they have checkers, they have computer classes, they have hustle classes. Look, your girl gonna have to go back there to get her black card, because I ain't got no rhythm no more. I don't know what happened. I ain't got no rhythm. I cannot do any of the hustles. I mean, none. Your girl needs some dance classes. I need them bad. So before we do close out, somebody said y'all being nice today. I do want to talk about, I did send you one, and it is the quality of the water. So we have got the administrative, it is, no, I sent it yesterday. I think I sent it yesterday. This is like, I gotta go buy me some coffee. So I think it's got like a chart at the bottom. Nope, you got to go down, up, down towards the bottom. Yeah. Nope, keep going down. And it's like, I think light blue or something. I didn't even get into Fannie Lou Hamer. That one. Gotcha. So when it comes to the water level and the safety, you can always go to City of Flint website. It's up there. And so let's put that. And I do want to say, Jessica Stewart said, staying active and social is important. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. It's so important for our seniors, particularly for those who may be ill or without a strong support system. Jessica, you are 100% correct, because a lot of times they won't stay active. It is difficult. My mother needs physical therapy. She doesn't want to stay active. I mean, they go through a lot, and it's hard. We're still mobile. I am, but you got to stay busy. My mother asked, as a matter of fact, I got to fill out her application because she wants to take a computer class up there. And so I went and picked up her application. I have got to turn it in. Listen, y'all, if you over 55, but your girl is a senior now. I'm a senior. I'm a senior. And so get an application, fill it out. They have a lot of good things that they do up there. And so staying active, and then they feed you. There's meals. There are some people who are homeless who come up there just to eat, to stay warm, and to get some social skills, some socializing, socializing, talk, just to be around people. So let's put the ego lead levels in Flint decline in latest round. Ego does the testing. One of the parts of, I know y'all have seen the administrative consent order, which is the big document that's ridiculously big that I actually read and then had some people go over it with me. So ego lead levels in Flint decline in latest round of water testing. This is August 2nd, 2024. It says the dramatic decrease from previous monitoring periods in the city of Flint wants to help Flint residents understand what this means for our water quality compared to previous sampling periods that include more business locations. The current sampling result of 1 parts per billion more accurately reflects the water quality in Flint homes where water is regularly used. No amount of lead in water is safe, but the result demonstrates the effectiveness of water systems corrosion and control measures, especially for residential homes where water is consistently used. I'm not reading his comment because I'm just thoroughly discussing. So this shows the lead levels over time. So it starts in 2016. Mickey, I can't see it at that part. So it starts in 2016. The lead levels, which were, oh God, what was that? Over 29 parts per billion. Levels above 15 parts per billion require action per federal standards. So if we look at, it gives you, this is a graph that shows we were 29, 2016, we were above, I don't believe some of them in 16. It looks at it, it shows. And now they're saying we have 1 part per billion. That was 2024. They're saying that I guess some of the samples were businesses. I don't know. But ego, we are required by the administrative consent order to have our own qualified people. Nobody wants to work for this administration. They just don't. And so they don't have people who will work. So this is the administrative order consent, y'all, that I have went over with y'all, with everyone. And to show your girl reads her documents, okay? I'm not, and not just reading them to the extent that I got side note, cliff notes, and I take it to, it's on every page. I went every single page. I have read this and went over this. So what is the administrative consent order? Well, we in violation. I don't know why we're not fined right now, because we in violation. We don't have our stuff done. The state of Michigan has taken over our service lines. I don't know where we're at in those. So there were some issues. So the administrative consent order is our infrastructure result. And so their findings, and it, which I did not vote to agree. The state said, hey, we need y'all to sign this. I did not vote for this. It is not passed. Matter of fact, it did not get 5 votes. Right. It still has not, because it keeps coming back up. My issue is, who gonna pay for this and how? I'm not voting for this when we don't have the money, when we know that the state took over our service line replacement. So all these projects that need to be done. And it also talks about the deficiencies and the violations inside of this report. So some of them are the Dort Reservoir, the Cedar Street. We have got some cross connection. It goes on and on. And so they were bidding some on. Some of these are actually being worked on. And I don't know if you follow city council, one was the sewage plant, the treatment plant, where that line is going to be repaired. It's a dual line. That one line is over 50 years old and the other one is over 100 years old. And there was a $20 million grant that was given by the state. That $20 million grant, we did vote on it to apply that. And then $46 million will be we voted on for bonds. So that will be that project will be complete over a 3-year period to look at, make, repair, replace those lines. It's a 3-year project. I said one of the lines is 100 years old, the other one is 50 years old. So that administrative consent order, there's some issues that they've got to fix. I agree with all the things our infrastructure is old, but my issue is how are we gonna fix this? Detroit is ahead of it. I mean, their goal. I was sent an interview by Jan Marie Arbor. She really watches a lot of news, and one was Mayor Duggan saying he wants to work up in the city of Detroit up to 250 lines, service lines being changed per week. I think he was at 100 to 150 at that time, getting changed per week. But there's money for infrastructure. The problem we have in Flint, who's fighting for Flint? They're not. There was money to pay off help for infrastructure in the water bills. And you know it, and we missed one was 35 million, the other one was like 6 or 7 million. And when I asked Amanda and I called her up to the lectern, what do you call it? Is it Lectern Chronicles you were calling it?
Gate.
Lectern Gate. And she said her reason was we did not apply to get that money, Tonya, because we didn't have anybody who could fill out the paperwork. I know, y'all. I was shocked too. So that money we did not get 2 rounds. And the money was put there specifically for Flint, and Flint did not apply. This mayor and his administration keeps failing our residents time and time again. So this administrative consent order, which is 17 projects, I don't have my graph, which need to be complete. And it tells the progress. I think up to I don't know what I did with it, maybe in my office. But they have 17 projects that have to be completed. For me to vote on it, I need to know how we're going to pay for it. It's as simple as that. And not disagreeing with it. But the water quality level, I did put that up so that everyone has. Do we trust the water? Do I trust the water? I do not. I brush my teeth still with bottled water. I mean, it gives you issues still. And that's just what it is. So, look like, so I'm gonna leave that. So, and if you have questions about the water, go to the city of Flint or go to Eagle's website. Eagle has the information on there. Our water testing is not done by the city of Flint. You know, part of in this ACO order, it requires that we hire the proper people. He hasn't done that. He's been in office since 2019, and he has not done that. So this still continues to be an issue. So I think that's just about it. I see they're kind of getting into it in the, they'll keep their politics to themselves. I'm glad they are. But Trevor's, so I don't know if it's a little something going on in the chats. So I think that was pretty much all. We kind of got distracted. Hasselbrink, I want to do water testing. I'll do a back it up. Hasselbrink, those seniors going to need your support. That contract should not be more than $1. Period. It should not. We should not be tracking if they can't keep track to get us infrastructure money. Why are they tracking who booking the Hasselbrink Center to use and they paying for it? I mean, the priorities are just messed up. Water quality, you can go to the City of Flint website, or you can go to Eagle. So you can do either one. Listen, if you, what's the acronym? What was it? Fire? What was it? Fire. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna find them pictures too, and I'm gonna put up a point about that. I don't know if I can put up those pictures. You might have them in yours because it's not in mine anymore. Okay, so if you have got questions about water quality, go to Eagle. I think those residents, I think we got 41 people you've been put out. You guys need to talk to. I would kind of, so you said the ACLU and who else? They were working they were working together. Okay. And so that you need to contact them. There's been issues with trash pickup and priority. Have y'all garbage put out before 7, because they will not come back to pick your garbage up. Don't put it out 7:15. And I didn't really not supporting priority now. Priority made the comment that people on Frank Street did not have their garbage out. And if it's not, they're going to go back and look at the camera. Just have the truck at the end of their route, swing back and pick the garbage up. With the residents, they didn't do it, but they were having problems in Clinton Township and Pontiac. Priority waste was. So have your trash out before 7 a.m. of that day, because if it's not out, they are not coming back to pick up your trash. They will not come back to get it. So for all of you that spent your time with us, anything you want to say, Mickey, to close out? I appreciate y'all spending time. And look, I am supporting Kamala Harris. Kamala is her two little nieces. So if you can't say her name, say Kama and La. Kamala. If you want to know what her policies are, her proposed policies, and Project 25, you can find any reason. Can you put up just the Project 25 part? Go to her page. You can see the Project 25. And I am very serious about, I'm not going back. No, I don't want anybody legislating any woman's reproductive rights. It should not be. That is a personal choice. No. That's her. Those are her that Project 25, right? And so when we get into Project 2025, it's very serious, and it's serious and let's pull up so we can scroll down some of them real quick. It's very, very serious. I'm not going back, and when they say is what Lil Jon said, we're not going back. I mean, that's like my hype music. I need that to be my opening every this is opening too. When they said in the state of Georgia. So let's scroll down. I'm going to go over some of these real quick because what is Project 2025's agenda? And it says his Project 2025 will strip away our freedoms. It includes a hatch plan where people used to work for Donald Trump that focuses on his first 180 days, the 180-day playbook. So what are some of the things that it will do? It says the time is short and the conservatives need a plan. The project will create a playbook for actions and to be taken for the first 180 days of the new administration. So what are some of the things that they will do? Mr. Trump and his associates have a broader goal to alter the balance of power by increasing the president's authority over every part of federal government. Let's scroll down because I want to get to some of the specifics. First, they'd like to make it easier to fire nonpartisan government employees, like they attempted to do at the end of Trump's administration. Let's go to the next one. Then they would replace them with politically appointed Trump loyalists. Then the next one, they'd end the independence of the Department of Justice and FBI and turn them into enforcement arms of the White House. Let's scroll down. And I'll put this up on my page. And Mickey, you guys stay kind of, I'll put it on Flint Politics for Boo. Project 2025 is a plan to give MAGA extremists control over your life. They'll implement a 50-state backdoor ban on abortion without Congress and jail health care provided. And let me tell you some of this. I don't agree with abortions. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to say this. That is a woman's choice. It is a woman's choice. And so when you get into some things which are, I'm going to say medical, it could be either your life or the child's life. They have an extreme over the fact that it encompasses everything. You know, I'm not supporting that, because I have been in a health issue to where I had a pregnancy which was in my fallopian tube, and I was pregnant with at least triplets. And when it is the worst pain, that even in this pregnancy that I miscarried and then had a fallopian tube, and this pregnancy could have taken my life. It was the worst. And so when you're talking about a woman's health, it was me and my husband's. I think I was 5 months pregnant when I miscarried. And I knew that each day I was taking my blood levels, that I had at least three with the counts, with fetuses, or it wasn't a fetus yet, that I was pregnant with. And so, I mean, when you're talking about people's health care, that is really a private decision. And at that time, it was a decision, whatever we did, it was between me and my husband. I think that people's personal rights and your health care, and mine literally was when I miscarried, it was a life or death. And matter of fact, my husband wasn't even home at the time. My neighbor, I had to call him because he had taken our son to get his hair cut. And it was just, we need to leave women's bodies alone. It's a personal choice. Let's keep going down. They'll force states to report women's miscarriages. They will force states to scroll back down, because I'm going to talk about that. They will force states to report women's miscarriages and abortions to Trump's federal government. I've had actually 2 miscarriages. And so that's my personal business. I don't possess the equipment to have any children anymore, but I don't want my daughter to go through that. I don't want my nieces to go through that. I don't want anyone else's daughter, because that is, when you're going through it, that is difficult. They will put limits on contraceptive. Let's go. It will rip away President Biden's protections for a woman's right to life-saving medical care. They'll enable discrimination against the LGBTQ plus Americans. He has a plan to make Trump and his friends even richer. He says it will cut taxes for Trump and his rich friends and pad their profits, and cut taxes for wealthy families, offset by tax hikes on middle-class families. They line big pharma's pockets by ending prescription drug price caps for seniors and banning Medicare from negotiating for lower. All while Trump's administration guts Medicare and Social Security. If you have Medicare and Social Security, if you have worked for it because they take it out your check, you're going to have a problem. They'd reinstate crippling student loan debts. Let's keep going down. So read the plan for yourself. I will put this on my page, and I will put it on Flint Politics Reboot. So if you're not a part of Flint Politics Reboot, please go over there and join. I am supporting Kamala for, but I'm supporting VP Kamala Harris for President of the United States of America, because there's a lot of things that are at risk, and I'm not going back. I'm not at all. So miscarriages are very private, and having to report them is none of the government's business. And I wouldn't have wanted any man to be a part of that decision, other than at that time it was my husband. And I don't want my daughter, my nieces, my nephew, I don't want people in my family to go through that. So that is why I am supporting Kamala. One of the many reasons that I am supporting her. So, okay. Anything else that y'all say? I want to say, wherever you are from, whatever. I seen Lumi's in there from Florida. We said we had somebody in there from Lansing. wherever you are from. We didn't put it in there. I ain't seen Brother B in there in a long time. At yep, I've seen him. And I haven't seen him in there in a long time. So I just know there's a lot at risk for this. I do. And I'm saying as a woman who I've never shared this publicly, who's had a miscarriage, I don't want anybody in my business. And it was traumatic for me. It was really, really, really difficult because we had even named the child, and and it, God had another decision, but and I don't know if I shared with people, I had endometriosis, I have it, I guess you always have it, and just to have children, I was grateful. I was grateful. So I always had a difficult time. I didn't think I would ever have children, actually. I was told that I would never have children, and if so, I would have to have in vitro fertilization. But then there was God. So it's always, God's will. But our our reproductive rights should be that, our own rights. So, anyways, we're gonna get off here. I want everybody to have a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day weekend. And if anybody having a cookout, if your potato salad got raisins in it, don't invite me, but let your girl know, because I'm gonna come over. And I'm serious, but you gotta be local. You gotta be local. You gotta be local. Oh, Sarah Perrin said, she says, I had a loss on 7/17/23, a baby girl. Sarah, I'm very sorry. And I know that's difficult. I'm very sorry. And people don't know, when you go through that, it never leaves you. It never leaves you. I'm very sorry, but thank you for sharing too. And I don't know why I even shared that. My life is so open with, but I do have 3 wonderful children. But I did have some miscarriages, and when I was pregnant with those triplets, I was like, well, what was I going to do with 3 kids at a time? I was like, that was a lot. Oh, but anyways, so some of the coleslaw with the raisins is the bomb. Rhonda, we gonna have a talk. Renata, is it Renata? Is that how you pronounce that? We're gonna have a talk. Look, I don't have raisin mouth in my. She said coleslaw, potato salad. So she said, and is okay, girl, go on. So, anyways, I want everyone to have a wonderful holiday weekend. Be safe. Love on your family. We got a lot of things, and we can see there's a lot of, families we should be putting first. I am putting family and people first. Our next council meeting is next Wednesday. If you are praying, say a prayer for Councilman Murphy, that he, as he's in the hospital, may he fight his battle to get better. And so the council is next Wednesday. Look, they done won in Eastpointe. Y'all come look. Y'all got a right to say what you want to say at that podium. ACLU and FIRE is the acronym.
FIRE acronym.
Them people got $17,000. Y'all better contact them. So listen, I want everybody to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. And inbox me if y'all a good cook, or your mama or your grandmama's a good cook, so your girl can come get a plate. Anyways, I love y'all, sending greetings, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all who gave us your time. I appreciate you. Enjoy your holiday.